Hi, in this video I'll be showing you this. It's the Igenix IG9919 Portable Air Conditioner. And what I want to do today is to show you around the air conditioning unit, some of the features and benefits that it offers. Just before I start, I would appreciate it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just give us a quick thumbs up, click subscribe. So we have found that over the last probably 3 or 4 years, there has been a lot more demand for things like portable air conditioning units like this, especially when it's a multifunction air conditioning unit. So if it's just a standalone aircon unit, then you can find that the use that it has during the year could be quite limited. I suppose here in the UK, we often get probably a week or 2 weeks in the year where it's really hot. That tends to be quite standard around sort of July, August time. But then for the rest of the year, it's normally fairly decent as far as the weather. Although like today, it's raining outside, so it's not an ideal day. But with this model, it's actually a multifunction aircon unit. And what I mean by that, as well as the cooling, it's actually got heating, fan and dehumidifier functions as well. But I'll cover some of those details a bit more in a moment. So I've just put it on the floor, just makes it a lot easier to show you on top. Now first of all, when you plug it in, you'll notice you've got a nice cheeky little display in the middle. And what will happen is that when you first turn it on, it's got different options on the top here. I'll take you through each one. Let's just turn that down a little bit. So what will happen is, first of all, when you put it on, it's got the cooling option. I suppose for most people, then what you'll find is that because it is the air conditioning unit, then that's what generally people will use it for. But you've got the cool option on the top there. That's almost the default. But really, when it comes to the setup of it, I suppose I should have mentioned that first of all. Let's just turn that off. So when it comes to the setup of it, if you just turn it round, you have got quite a large vent at the back. Now that's really imperative. If you want to cool the room properly, then really need to install this. So you've got it is, although it feels quite solid initially, it is quite a flexible pipe. I must say it's really good actually. I wish some other manufacturers from things like tumble dryer manufacturers would follow suit and make them like this, because that's a really good design. And using these different parts, so you get a couple of other plastic parts as well, then that's really designed to just connect onto the back here. And then you do actually get what they call a window vent. Let me just grab that. So just go around the back of the camera, and that's all in the bag here. So you get something called a window vent, and the idea of using the window vent is that it will actually create a seal within the room, because if you've just got I suppose the pipe just hanging out the window, then you'll still have space around the pipe where it's exiting through the window. So what this will do is this will, in theory, create that seal. It's difficult to describe, to be honest. I suppose I could have got a window and shown you, but I'll be honest, at the moment I haven't really got time to do that. But just pop that to the side. But anyway, so that's essential to get that connected. So if I just turn this round now, I'll turn it back on and just really show you how simple it is to operate. Considering it's a 4-in-1 unit, then I suppose I'm surprised there are not more functions on top. But to be honest, it doesn't really need it. So just turn that back on. As I mentioned earlier, it will default to the cool. When you use the cool mode, then it will actually combine the cooling and dehumidifier together. And really the display is displaying the target temperature that you want the room to get down to. So that's 18 degrees C. And what you can do is, if you press that, then that will go up to, I think it's 32. Yeah, so that's completely the other end of the scale. Then if you were to, I suppose if you wanted some heat, then really you'd want to select one of the other options. I know what some people are thinking, because this is what I thought initially, that 32 degrees is going to actually heat the air, but when you've selected the cooling, then it won't do. I suppose if you are in a very hot country, or if you're in a very warm room, then even cooling it down to 32 could be a target for you. You have got different fan speeds, so that was on low, and then medium, and then you've got high, or you can just select the auto option, which I suppose is quite a good one to select. But really what we will want to do, I suppose at the moment here, well, in the showroom it tends to be around 20 degrees, so it's quite a nice ambient temperature within the showroom. The next option on here, when you press the mode button, goes to the dehumidifier. And this is, again, dehumidifiers have been around for years. As a company we still sell quite a few, but what you'll find is that people recently have been turning their heating system off because the rise in energy costs, what we've found, especially here in the UK, is that people are either reducing the temperature they're setting or sometimes just even turning the heating system off. Now, although short term, that's probably not a bad thing as far as saving money initially, long term it's not a great thing, because what you can find is that within rooms you can get things like damp or mildew, and that can have quite an effect on the room or the house that you're living in. So again, what we found is that people have been doing this for the last 12-18 months, then they realise they're starting to get damp patches where they've not had any heating within the room, and they've started to buy things like this or dehumidifiers on their own. So having the dehumidification as an option is really good. The next option on here is just the fan. So there's no cooling as such, that's just the fan. And if you were to, I suppose that's more of an energy efficient way of running the unit. Just so if you were sit in front of it, if you just wanted a fan to be on, then again you can press if you've got low, medium, high. It doesn't use the temperature at all because it's not heating or cooling. And then the final option on here is the heat, and that changes it around completely. That's it. So it's just turn the fan off, and what you do is you just select, again similar to I suppose the cooling, you just select the target temperature that you want, and that varies from 14 degrees, and that can go all the way up to 27 degrees. Now as far as the temperature, what that will do is that will start to heat, and you've got the different fan setting options, again low, medium and high. So it really is a simple layout as far as using it. I'm actually really impressed with how simple it is to use. Now you have got a timer on here, and what you can do, so it is a 24-hour timer, and you can actually select it to either switch off. So for example, if you're in your bedroom and if you had say just the fan on while you wanted to go to sleep, so if you wanted it on for a couple of hours, then it's almost like a sleep timer on there, so that's quite easy to set. As far as the other way, you can actually time it to come on. So if you knew that you wanted to, say, have the room cool down for when you got home from work, then what you could do is you could set it, for example, say an hour or 2 hours before you get back. I'll just hopefully show you how to do that. So all you'd normally do is, so once the appliance is turned on, you just select the method that you wanted. So I'm going to select cool, then you turn it off. So turn the power off, press the timer button, and then you just press that depending on how many hours you want it to be delayed before it comes on. Then once you've done that, then you wait 5 seconds, the timer will be active, and then that's signified by the timer symbol on the display. And then once you've done that, that's it. So in 5 hours, then that will come on. So just a couple of other things to show you. First of all, it does come with a cheeky little remote control. A lot of the functions I've showed you on the top there, you can control from the remote. Through the remote, you can actually change whether you want it on centigrade or Fahrenheit, and you can actually do that on top as well. If you press the plus and minus button on top at the same time, then it changes it from centigrade to Fahrenheit, really depending on which one you prefer. Also, the energy label on this, just to show you that overall it is pretty energy efficient. As far as the cooling side, it is an A rating, and it will consume approximately 0.9 kilowatt hours for every 60 minutes of use. And as far as the heating side, again, it's slightly more energy efficient, an A+ energy rating, and that will consume around 0.8 kilowatt hours of energy for every 60 minutes of use. So if you are thinking about buying one of these models, I have provided a link below to show you where to get one at a competitive price. There are quite a few other models that Igenix do. Some of them have things like Wi-Fi. There are other models in the range, I suppose mainly lower than this, where they don't have certain functions on it. There are certain models where it doesn't have the heating, for example. But personally, I like the idea of having a multifunction unit, because especially if you're going to buy a heater as well as something like an aircon unit, then why bother having two different devices? You might as well just buy one where it's all in one, a lot less storage anyway. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this quick video on the Igenix IG9919 Portable Air Conditioner. Please give us a thumbs up on the YouTube video, click subscribe, leave any comments below. Do always ask for comments, whether it's good or bad, about the video. If there's something that you came here to watch, if I've not covered it, or if there's a certain specification or function that you wanted me to show you, then just pop in the comments, or if you've got a question, again, just pop in the comments and I'll get back to you, because I've got one of these on display anyway at the moment. If you have got one of these, or if you, tell you what, if you have got a portable air conditioning unit, then let me know what you think about it, because I do always appreciate the feedback. Thanks for watching.